You guys did a great job, by the way, talking about the E. Jean Carroll verdict, what it was, what it wasn't. All that's a bit complicated because, what was it? They found him liable of defamation,
and
liable of sexual
abuse,
but not liable of rape, which I'm still personally trying to wrap my head around. Trump also had his response to that verdict.
There's a rather graphic answer to that.
Yeah,
the
good point. If you're watching this with children, you should, earmuffs. All right, let's take a listen.
Just so you understand, ready? I never met this woman. I never saw this woman. This woman said, I met her at the front door of Bergdorf Goodman, which I rarely go into other than for a couple of charities. I met her in the front door. She was about 60 years old then. This is like 22, 23 years ago. I met her in the front door of Bergdorf Goodman. I was immediately attracted to her, and she was immediately attracted to me. And we had this great chemistry. We're walking into a crowded department store. We had this great chemistry, and a few minutes later, we end up in a room, a dressing room of Bergdorf Goodman, right near the cash register. And then she found out there were locks on the door. So she said, I found one that was open. She found one. She learned this at trial. She found one that was open. What kind of a woman meets somebody and brings them up, and within minutes, you're playing hanky-panky in a dressing room, okay?
Crowd was eating it up there, Ryan. Crowd was eating it up. Everybody was like, oh, Trump, I'm like, yeah, you first time? Like, first time you ever heard Trump? They also tried to get him on the, the answer that he gave in his deposition about when you grab them, they let you do it. And he's like, well, it's fortunate, or unfortunately, or fortunately. And he's like, well, that's something that has always been kind of the case for famous people. What did you make of his response? What do you think?
Well, it was interesting that he wanted to relitigate the Access Hollywood.
That's how he is. Yeah, that's how he is.
He wants to relitigate everything. And he wanted to zero in on the word let, because what he was trying to say, it seemed like, was that let implies consent.
Okay.
And that, unfortunately or fortunately, powerful, rich, famous people are able to get consent. Like that was the whole riff that he was going in on. But it's just bizarre that he wants to relitigate that, but it's very Trump. And to me, it was disturbing to watch the crowd hooting to his like mockery of E. Jean Carroll. That was the part where I was like, oh, this is just, that was the part where I thought CNN was like really getting, now maybe what they wanted, because it's going to be ratings, but it was just I don't know, horrifying. But it's like to think of an entire crowd of people like mocking that moment while he's mocking it on stage. It's just, it does not kind of portray the world that I wish that we lived in.
Well, it's certainly not. Unfortunately, in the eyes of a lot of these people, everything is politicized, and everything is there. If you're going to turn this into politicization, then this is going to be a joke, and I'm going to treat it like a joke. That, I think, unfortunately, that's how a lot of people.
I think that's how people who are, I'm sure, against sexual assault and rape in their daily life, they think it's all politicized. So therefore, but a lot of people watching it, I think, do not have the same Twitter brain that we do.
That's a Rorschach test. That is genuinely a Rorschach test on how you feel. And I don't judge anybody who feels either way. You also got to point to just to the crowd and the level of which they're loving that is vintage classic Trump, right? Well, another one was going after the moderator, Caitlin Collins, at CNN, calling her, quote, a nasty person. And again, the crowd is eating this up. Take a listen.
That's the question that investigators have, I think, is why you held on to those documents when you knew the federal government was seeking them and then had given you a subpoena to return them.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Can I talk?
Yeah, what's the answer?
Do you mind?
I would like for you to answer the question.
Okay, it's very simple to answer.
That's why I asked it.
It's very simple you're a nasty person, I'll tell you.
You're a nasty person, okay? And again, the crowd, they can cheer. I mean, this is also where, it kind of get to your point, Ryan, which, no offense, but there's a lot of pearl clutching going on where people are like, I can't believe the crowd would cheer. I'm like, here's what people need to understand. They hate you. They hate you so much. They hate you so much. The reason that they vote for this like vulgar, weird, famous billionaire from New York is because of moments like that. And they will never understand it. I think you were intellectually capable of that. And that's why watching that, I couldn't help but almost just, because I'm like, wow, like that right there, that is why, 70-something million people voted for him in 2020. They can never get enough of Trump via the media, because the only person less popular than him is them.
But also, we say Trump can't change, but that was woke Trump.
Oh,
Did
really?
you notice?
No, I didn't. He said nasty person, not nasty woman.
Hillary Clinton was nasty. Was Hillary Clinton who was
It was
nasty
Hillary,
woman?
yeah.
He's gone woke now.
That's good.
He's like, this is not a gendered insult that I am leveling here.
I like that.
So. Trump,
well, I want him to start.
The woke brigade got to him.
We need to stop him from saying things like the dumbest man on television, the dumbest person on television, nasty person, not a nasty woman. But that's Trump. Trump is Trump, and that's just really maybe because I covered him for so long. It was in all of this. Literally watched this play out on a day-to-day basis. Not a single thing that happened last night surprised me or shocked me at all. It just seemed like right back, return to where things are. Lots of media, like I said, pearl clutching around this. But I think that the fundamental question for everybody to ask, for everyone who is involved and finds this repugnant, is how do we get here? How do we get to a point where people are laughing at the E. Jean Carroll thing? How do you get to a point where people are cheering whenever you call a nasty person? I remember some of the biggest cheers that he used to get is at his rallies, is when he would look at the back, he'd be like, you see those red lights and they're turning away, they're not showing the crowd. He's like, there's fake news, CNN, and the crowd would go wild. Yeah. If you've ever been to a Trump rally and you've seen the press, at the barricade in the back, and they became, by the way, they loved this too, just so everybody knows. Jim Acosta would be there, he'd be like, look at the way that these people are treating me. It's a bi-directional thing. The crowd loves hating you, and he loves being hated by the crowd. It helps him sell books. So don't act also like there's not a lot going on here, but it's a self-perpetuating cancer. I can tell you.
I was at the dawn of this. Were you at Sarah Palin's speech at the RNC?
I wish I'd been there. Yeah.
It was electric in a kind of terrifying way.
Yeah, this way. Right.
Like McCain gives his acceptance speech. It's like a normal political speech. The rest of the Republicans throughout that convention.
Country first.
Normal, just normal stuff.
Right.
When Sarah Palin hit that stage, and she started coming, I forget what she called us. It wasn't fake news. It was something else. But
I know what you're talking about.
She called out the whole press area, and you could feel the energy of that room turn toward the press. I remember like, whoa, this is something else. Yeah. This is a different thing. Like, these people hate me right now.
There's another good clip, if anybody wants to go watch it, of Newt Gingrich going after the media in 2012, similar time period. So it was 2012 in the primary. Gingrich, it's like the CNN actually town hall or debate or something like that. And they opened it up by asking him whether he wants to apologize to his ex-wife or something like that for genuinely doing scummy things, like very scummy.
Oh, I remember that, yes.
Yeah. And he was like, well, I think
how dare you?
And the biggest threat to this country is and the crowd
on their feet
went wild. And Gingrich actually popped in the polls after that. That was one of the biggest precursors to what would eventually happen in the 2015 primary. So all of the breadcrumbs were there. The Sarah Palin hockey mom speech, if you remember that, it's like, what's the difference between a hockey mom and a pit bull lipstick? And the crowd is like absolutely losing it. Gingrich, well, that's how we got to
Spiro Agnew.
Where we are. Spiro Agnew.
The nattering nabobs of negativity.
Yes. That's a good. People should go read about that too. That's some good stuff.
Hey guys, ready or not, 2024 is fully upon us now, and Saagar and I have been brainstorming ways that we can really up our game for this critical election.
Yeah, we rely on our premium subs to expand our coverage, to add staff, to upgrade the studio. We just want to give you the best independent coverage of this election, which is possible. So if you can help us out, become a premium subscriber today, breakingpoints.com, or the link is down here in the description video. It really means the world to us, and if you like what we're all about, this is the best possible way to keep us 100% independent, working only for you.